Listen, real talk. Did you know that by the time women reach their 50th birthday party, they have already lost 30% of their collagen? It's true. And after they go through menopause, it's going to accelerate for the next 5 years. So this is why women are so bummed when they start looking at that accelerated aging on their skin, especially visible on the face during those years during menopause. What we're going to talk about today is how you and I can help them get that collagen back, restore their nice youthful beauty in a way that serves you, serves the patient, keeps your business afloat, and makes everybody happy. Let's go. Welcome to the Clinical Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm Rhonda, your no-fluff, tell it like it is business bestie for wellness practitioners just like you who want to build a practice you love and make a bigger impact and a little money while you're at it. So if you're ready to ditch the overwhelm, attract your dream, ideal patients, and finally run your practice with complete confidence, you're in the right place. Each week, we're tackling things from programs to patient retention to marketing strategies that actually work, sprinkled, of course, with a little sass, a lot of heart, and the step-by-step strategies that will help you get there. So grab your cup of coffee, your notebook, or whatever keeps you going, and let's build a practice you love and a life you love together. Well, hey friends, welcome back to the podcast. Today we're going to talk about collagen and menopause and women and aging, sagging, sad faces because we lose all that collagen as we go into menopause without being very intentional about it. And I think you've all heard me talk about, the importance of skincare. I have been religiously, and when I say religiously, I mean it like brush your teeth kind of religious. I've been washing my face morning and night since I was 20 years old. And I'm 63 as of today, the date of this recording. And I think I'm not doing too bad for an old girl, right? I think my skin looks pretty good, but that's in part because I've really been intentional about taking care of it. So when estrogen starts to drop, we start to lose some of that fibroblastic activity. And the fibroblasts are, of course, what produce collagen in the skin. And when the estrogen drops, the skin starts to get thinner. That's why many skincare manufacturing companies will add it to their products because they want to get that plump, full skin back for these aging women. But we all know what the downside of that is that then we get estrogen in and we're downregulating receptors and so on and so on. So as these women start to lose that collagen, they're looking for things that's going to plump the skin and take back the wrinkles and do the lift thing. And this is in part why the beauty industry is what it is because these aging women are just looking for ways to keep their skin looking good. And I think we can do a better job of addressing that with our female patients. So if you have women in your practice, pretty sure you do, and those women are of an age around 35 to 40, they're going to start noticing, sometimes even before 35, they'll start to notice that there's just those little subtle sides of aging. And the collagen is like the scaffolding in the skin. So it's the scaffolding for joints and ligaments and all kinds of things. But today we're just going to talk about it in the skin. When that collagen is really healthy, then the skin is more firm, it's more supple, and they feel better. They don't feel like the mirror has betrayed them. Right? They look in the mirror and like, who is this person? And it's funny that it just happens so quickly. It's almost like overnight. So when we're working with women, wherever they are in their, I'll call it the 35-year plus journey, whether they're, pre, peri, or post-menopause, I think when we work with women, they're coming in with fatigue or bloating or, hot flashes or vaginal dryness or whatever it might be. But those women are coming in looking for help. And I think we can do a better job of addressing this aspect of their care. It doesn't mean that they need to go to a med spa. It doesn't mean that they need to go have some expensive procedure done. We can help save them that money, the expense, etc., by just being aware that maybe that aging of the skin should be and can be part of a protocol that we can use with our women, our ladies that are going through this change. Let's talk a little bit about what collagen is and why it declines in midlife or, that 35 to 40 year range. So collagen is just that structural protein, right? 30% of the total body protein. So it's an important one. It's a big one. It's essential for all kinds of things, joint health and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue and basement membranes and skin and all the things. And so this collagen protein is essential in order to preserve and prepare the skin for, or protect it, I suppose, against the ravages of aging, especially in women. And so it's produced primarily in the dermis, and these fibroblasts, build up and provide this collagen, and that just kind of works its way up to the epidermis, which is where then the evidence of aging is seen. So what the collagen requires is, not surprisingly, amino acids, specifically glycine and proline and hydroxyproline. But there are also cofactors that are needed to synthesize and cross-link the collagen for strength. It would be like if we built a house or a building and we just had the four corner beams that went from bottom to the top, right? From the floor, we had them down in the ground and they're solid, and they go all the way to the top corners, and then we just sit the roof on top of it. That's not going to be very stable. It's the cross-linking. It's what we do in between those primary structures that gives the building its strength. And it's the same for collagen in the skin. It's those cross-linking proteins that we really need help with, and the nutrients that are needed for that to happen is things like vitamin C, zinc, copper, iron, silica. Those are all things that are important for that cross-linking. So there's the collagen or the protein component, and then not surprisingly, there are the nutrients that we need to make sure that she is provided so that she can keep and maintain that healthy skin. So in women, aside from the ravages of, hormone changes in midlife, the other reasons that collagen can go down, you all are familiar with this, like smoking. It is huge on the skin. You can spot someone who's been a smoker a mile away because they have accelerated aging in the skin. High sugar diets, because there's a lot of glycation, and those, ages at the advanced glycation end products, those are all ravaging the tissues in the body. Chronic inflammation, that will do it. UV, too much light exposure, except I'm not of the camp that, the sun is the devil. I don't think you all are either. But I would say this, that when we don't have enough fatty acids in the diet, when we don't have enough saturated fat in the diet, it's going to damage the skin. The sun is going to damage the skin, but it's not because the sun's a bad guy. It's because the skin is missing the nutrients. And what do we need? Fatty acids. We need calcium. We need vitamin D, which we're getting from the sun. So sun exposure, and then, of course, just natural aging, which we've talked about. So the types of collagen that we got to think about is there's over 30 different types of collagen, and they all have different roles and such in the body, but there are really two types, type 1 and type 3. Type 1 is for firmness and structure, and then type 3 is elasticity and general smoothness of the skin. So that doesn't really mean anything to you, except I want to really dive into how we can fix it for these women. Like, what do we do as part of the protocol? Well, first I would say, make sure that before I jump into the what and the how, make sure that you have these questions on your intake form. That's the first thing, because they don't know that you know how to fix it, which you're going to know after today, but they don't know that they're coming to you for their hot flashes. They're coming to you for, whatever it might be, whatever it is, the symptom. And you don't say anything on your intake form about the skin, loss of elasticity, lack of collagen, maybe sagging skin, fine lines and wrinkles. Are you, have you noticed changes in your skin? Is it getting more dry? Is it getting more oily? Why would that not be part of what we're talking about with them? Of course it should be. So we want to add some of those questions on skin. And if you don't know what to add, my goodness, just go to ChatGPT or Claude or wherever you're going to go and just ask the question, like, what kind of questions should I ask my patients on an intake form? So you can go get some help there. So once you have those on the intake form, now the patient goes, well, I didn't know that Rhonda did that. I didn't know that Dr. Joe over there did that. I had no idea. Oh my gosh, yes, I do have some jowls, and my neck is getting saggy and wrinkly, and I don't like any of it, and I feel old, and I don't look pretty anymore, and all the things. So just ask the questions. Now, my money is that probably a lot of these women are either taking orally some kind of collagen, or they're putting some collagen on the skin, and most of it doesn't work. Most of it does not even work. It's not well absorbed in the oral form at all. There is an exception, and I'm going to tell you about that. But in general, if you go get an oral collagen, it is not well absorbed, and here's why. It gets broken down into its respective amino acids and di and tripeptides in the gut. The body then just uses those amino acids just like it's going to use any other amino acid, and How do you know that it's going to take those, break them down, and build it right back up into collagen? There may be another priority. The body might say, oh, no, 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 no. We need those amino acids for the heart. We need them for the muscles. We need them for the brain. We need them for the kidneys or the liver or the blood vessels. You don't know. You don't know what the body's going to use them for. So we can't direct it. Like once it goes in the mouth, it's up to the body to do what it's going to do with it, right? So there's no guarantee that it's going to hit the skin or hit the joints or hit the hair or nails or wherever else we might want it. So orally, not a good option. But then there's topical. So there's some topical like collagen cream. And I own a med spa. So here I am talking to you about you don't need to go to a med spa. And it's really true. Like I have a med spa and people come in here because they want a quick fix. They don't want to do it the long way, but the quick fix is expensive. I'm giving you the sauce so that you can help your patients not have to see someone like me in a medical spa and pay lots of money to get a treatment done. Here's the way that we can do this organically and naturally. And I offer these things at my spa as well. So I'm talking to you about my own personal experience here. So with collagen creams, here's the problem. The collagen molecule itself is too large to penetrate the epidermis. It's just too big. It can't get through. And so what it does is it just sits on the top of the skin and becomes kind of an expensive moisturizer. But it never penetrates the skin, so it's not delivering any benefit. It's just a moisturizer, not a collagen booster. But, the collagen in the beauty market, it's big money. It's big money. It's a lot of money. And the poor consumer just goes out. She's feeling wrinkly and maybe dry skin and her neck and her eyes are sagging and all the things are happening on her face and she doesn't like it. So she's just going to go on Instagram. She's going to find whatever they're talking about. Like, oh yeah, this is going to boost your face and make you look like you were when you were 20. And she's slathering that on and it's never even getting past the epidermis. It's not getting in at all. So a lot of the brands will just, they overpromise results because truth be told, collagen just sells. Like it just sells. The word collagen and people are going to buy it. Unsuspecting public are going to buy it. We've all been victim to that. I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm saying we've all done it. So I get it. And then the last thing is collagen powders. So we could go to the store like Vital Proteins has a collagen powder. You can go find collagen powders all kinds of places. And how do you even know that it's collagen? Like who's regulating this? You know that the supplement industry is not regulated. What was the product? I can't remember right now. They were talking about that they took a product that was supposed to be white. I don't remember what the product was. It was some kind of random thing. And they opened it up and they looked at it and it was mostly baking soda inside. And they took it to a lab and they tested it and it was mostly baking soda inside. And the person was taking it, let's just say it was for collagen. It wasn't, but I don't remember what it was. Because no one's testing. There's no regulatory body that ensures that these supplement companies, protein powder companies, etc., are making their proteins or their collagen or their supplements do what they say they're going to do. It's crazy. So now you got these people that are out on these collagen proteins and they think, oh, well, I'm taking collagen. I tell you, if I had $1 for every time a woman told me that she's taking collagen protein, I could have once a week massage booked out for 6 months. I have enough money to do that. People take these collagen powders and they don't work. What I want to say, what my inside voice wants to say is, yeah, how well is that working out for you? Because I'm seeing a lot of stuff going on your face. Got a lot of wrinkling things happening. How well is that protein powder really working for you? Most of them don't. There is one, and I'm going to tell you about it now because I don't want to talk about it later too much, but there is one ingredient. It's called Verisol, Verisol, and it has been well studied. You can't buy it as just a single supplement, but they'll add it to something. So if you have a patient, make a note of this. If you have a patient that says, I'm on a collagen supplement, ask to see the label. If you see that word on the label somewhere, chances are good that it's a pretty good quality collagen supplement, a protein powder. So Verisol, Verisol. I'll tell you a little bit more about it in a minute. But it is an ingredient in better protein powders. So you might want to look at that. You also want to look at these protein powders. Sometimes they just say ingredients, collagen protein. But what about the cofactors? Remember we talked about that. Like we need vitamin C, we need zinc, we need copper, we need iron, we need manganese, we need boron, we need all these other things for the skin to be healthy. Silica is another one. And a lot of these powders and supplements don't even have any of those cofactors in them, which makes the collagen like the four corners of the building, but there's no cross-linking. There's no structure to the skin. It's not going to work. There's going to be no benefit. And a lot of times, even the research, like I didn't comb through all the body of research on collagen, but as I was looking through them, I thought, yeah, some of these companies, they kind of cherry pick the research. They cherry pick it so it validates their point and makes it look like their product's really good when it's probably not really good at all. So let's talk about the nutrients. So first, I want to talk a little bit more about Verisol. I'll give you a little bit more of the details. It is what's been studied and verified clinically in human trials and in animal trials is that Verisol is a really good quality hydrolyzed collagen powder. It will not, though, this is important, it does not replace complete protein. So if you have someone that says, oh yeah, I'm making a smoothie every day and I put collagen protein powder in my smoothie, they're not getting a complete protein. So we need to get some good quality whey protein in there, and then you can add the collagen if you want. For the the proline and the leucine, etc. You can add to it, but it needs to be in a base of a complete protein if that's what she wants to do. Not by itself, because we know the body really loves it when more amino acids are available to rebuild these proteins. So hydrolyzed collagen powder, Verisol is a great one to look for. The size of the protein is very, very, very small, which makes it really easy to absorb in the gut. And so it comes from bovine, and they've recently, actually Verisol has come out with some marine versions, which is good for people who, don't want anything from beef, but they're okay with fish. So there are a few marine versions available out there now. And as a side note, they actually have a collagen that's specific for gut. Bones. I think it's starts with an F. I can't remember the name of it, but Verisol, if you look it up, you'll find one, but there's one that's really good for the joints as well. So they have some really good clinical studies about the hydrolyzed collagen protein, some, pretty recently, but basically what it does is it stimulates the fibroblasts to create more collagen, and then it increases the procollagen. That's just part of how the breakdown or the assembly of the collagen happens, as well as elastin and fibrin, and so it cross-links. That's what it's really doing. And then there's a few more nutrients, which we talked about. So Verisol, that's in the protein powder, but let's talk about nutrients. So vitamin C. Vitamin C is a big one, and a lot of women will put vitamin C on their skin, but that is not, usually it's just ascorbic acid. So what you want to think about with these women is, how do I get vitamin C in them? Well, you can do like collagen C or C complex. Doctors Research has a good one called the C complex, but basically it has all those rich food-based C's in them. So you just get some vitamin C in them. If you don't want to supplement it, fine, just make sure that they're getting enough C in their diet, right? The second thing is proline and glycine. Both of those are part of the collagen molecule or collagen makeup, and you can easily get that in bone broth or gelatin. So again, if you didn't want to have the patient on a supplement, you could just tell them to eat bone broth, and that's going to help their skin really wonderfully. And then silica, I'll never forget this. Kerry Bone said this one time, and I just never forgot it. And he said the Fuji water, or Fuji water, that water is high in silica. So you just have them get a bottle of that water. You can also get it in horsetail, but I probably wouldn't just give a supplement for this. You just need micro amounts. Just have them drink a little bit of Fiji water every day, and they'll get the silica that they need. The other thing you want is zinc and copper. And Standard Process has a great product. It used to be called Keysen. They just keep changing the names. I don't understand. It's now called Zinc Complex, same thing. And it has iron, copper, and zinc. Those three balance each other out, but they are essential for skin health and collagen repair. They are the cofactors that the skin needs in order for that cross-linking to happen, right? The collagen is like the four pillars in the building, and the nutrients are like the cross-linking that's going to give it stability, give the skin stability. Now, let's talk about, there's kind of three superheroes that I want to talk about. Number one is Gotu Kola. You knew I was going to say this. Gotu Kola is amazing, and it's been tested. It helps with fibroblast production of collagen. We call it facelift in a bottle. Gotu Kola is the herb of beauty. It's just amazing. So you want to use Gotu Kola if you have someone who's wanting to improve the way that the skin looks. It just increases the fibroblast production of collagen. The second thing is green tea. This isn't one of my top 3, but could be, I guess, top 4. Green tea, just have them drink green tea. If they don't like green tea, then you can get it in a capsule form from Gaia. It's just called green tea. They're out of stock on it sometimes, so I usually just tell patients, just make yourself a big old thing of sun tea, right? Put the tea bags in it, leave it out on the counter, put it in the sun so it warms up a little bit, it'll steep nicely, and then just put it in the refrigerator and drink 8 ounces, couple of 8-ounce glasses a day. You can sweeten it with honey, no problem. Green tea is amazing for the skin. Amazing. It's got all the phytochemicals in there that the skin needs to really be able to strengthen itself. Then my last 2 are mushrooms, and that is ergothionine and tremella. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a schooling on ergothionine because some of you might not know what it is. Ergothionine is found in mushrooms like king mushroom, oyster, shiitake, and what it is, it's a sulfur-containing amino acid derivative. Sulfur is super important for the skin. In Clinical Academy, I have a whole lesson on the skin, and sulfur is one of the key ingredients. So garlic is also high in sulfur, onions are high in sulfur, Spanish black radish is high in sulfur, but ergothionine is a component of these mushrooms, and we have to get it from the diet. We cannot make it internally. Now, the highest concentration is in shiitake, oyster king, some in maitake as well. And there's in some beans and a few organ meats. But how many of your patients are eating organ meats? Probably not very many. But in a supplement form, the place that we get ergothionine is from real mushrooms. It's just called Ergo Plus. And it's great. It just works so great. So here's why I love ergothionine. It's so important in the body, this particular nutrient, that there is a dedicated transporter protein for ergothionine. That's all it does is transport ergothionine. If it wasn't that important, then why does the body have a dedicated transporter for it? Yes, dedicated. So it's very, very important. And what it does is the transporter pulls the ergothionine from the bloodstream, from the food that we eat, the mushrooms, or if we take it as a supplement, into the mitochondrial-rich tissues, which are like the skin and the eyes and the bone marrow and the brain. Basically, where oxidative stress hits the hardest, it pulls that ergothionine into those tissues in order to keep it protected. It protects and heals and supports those tissues. So it's great. It's like an antioxidant kind of, right? It quenches all those reactive oxygen species. It doesn't turn into like a pro-oxidant, because sometimes like vitamin C can do that. It can actually, too much can actually be pro-oxidative. This does not do that. It provides UV protection for the skin cells. It's great for just mitochondrial health overall, helps to preserve collagen. And it also is great for glycation. You know, when we have like too high of a carbohydrate diet, we get all those advanced glycation end products, those ages. It's great to protect that. And it just makes the skin look beautiful. So why not? We might as well use ergothionine. Now, the other one is Tremella. I have Tremella here in the med spa, and I sell a ton of it. And the reason is because it's called a snow mushroom or a beauty mushroom. And it's really a very fascinating mushroom. It looks like oops, sorry, I just bumped my mic. It's a thick. You cook it and it gets real thick and like mucilaginous. It's kind of a white, fluffy, cloud-like. It kind of looks like a snow. They say it looks like a snow blossom, but it's kind of fluffy looking. I guess that's how I would describe it. But the thing about the Tremella that's amazing is it holds 500 times its weight in water. 500 times its weight in water. So it can actually go in, it's comparable in the skin to hyaluronic acid, which is a skin plumper upper, for lack of a better term. And so Tremella works that same way. It signals the fibroblasts to upregulate that collagen. It's also a good prebiotic, so you can use it because it feeds the gut bacteria. Gut bacteria are involved in all the things. So Tremella is amazing. They used to give it to the queen. It was the beauty mushroom, and they gave it to the queen because they said it made her beautiful and lovely and warm. But it makes the skin velvety soft and very smooth, and it smooths out the wrinkles. I always say Tremella is like the ironing and the ironing board for the skin. It just smooths everything out. So not only does it hydrate, because remember it's holding all of that extra water, but it is also, because it's got such a small particle size, it penetrates the skin, especially if when we take it orally, it's going to get in and upregulate those fibroblasts. There are some that are in like a topical form. I just like it orally. With real mushrooms, it just comes as a capsule, or you can take it as a powder. But it just smooths and softens the skin, plumps it up. And by plumping it, even, you're going to see a reduction in the fine lines and wrinkles. But it also stimulates collagen, which is what we want, right? It's an antioxidant, it's got anti-inflammatory benefits, and it also supports the skin barrier in general. So that's like my faves. Like ergothionine and Tremella, I think you're going to have a home run with your women, your female patients that are experiencing the signs of aging. I think you're going to have a home run if you just could include these two products together. So think about ergothionine. It's kind of like the protector. It's sort of helping to protect the mitochondria, protect the production of the collagen, and then the Tremella stimulates the production of collagen. So it's a perfect pair together. So now you could do a number of things with your patients as we bring this home. You could do a number of things. Number one, you could just do ergothionine and Tremella. You could totally do that, and it would be great. They're going to be real happy. You're not going to get super smooth, dewy, snow white looking, wrinkle-free skin in 48 hours. It's not going to work that way. They have to stay on it. Now, Real Mushrooms provides an affiliate link. If you don't have an account with them, I would encourage you to get one. And when you can purchase Real Mushrooms online, which I don't love, but it is what it is. But they do offer an affiliate link for practitioners. And that means that you can give that affiliate link to your patients, and you can have them order through your link, and you just tell them, and maybe you give them a little bit of a discount or something like that. So they know they're going to get it a little less than what they could buy it for online. And you'll have to kind of check to see what that looks like. I didn't check the prices before I got on the podcast. So you can use your affiliate link, so that way you're going to collect that revenue. The other thing that you can do is you can add in vitamin mineral from Doctor's Research. I love that product. I love it. It's like has everything in it. Everything you need for the skin, everything you need for the endocrine system. It literally is a uber comprehensive multivitamin. The only thing it doesn't have in it literally is calcium and magnesium, because the pill would be too big to swallow. So for all the trace minerals, the micro minerals, they're all in there. So I think like the perfect triad, if you were just going to do three things, it would be vitamin mineral, and you're probably going to do that anyway, right? You should be. And Tremella, and then the ergothionine. And if the ergothionine is maximizing the mitochondria, you're going to start to see other health benefits besides just the skin. So really is a powerful triad for the skin as well as other things in the body. The other thing you could do is you could just create a little skin and beauty membership. So you could call this little membership, you could charge whatever you're going to charge, $100 or $120 a month, and you could just provide like vitamin mineral, Tremella, and have them drink green tea. Maybe it's just those two products, and you could throw in some free resources or something like that, or an email once a month. Give them a little bit of a discount. They're happy because they're going to do it anyway. So, and then that way you and your business, you get that recurring revenue. You could have even a couple of tiers, like you have the basic beauty and then the glowing beauty or something like that. And you could add in more things, like maybe add a C, like collagen C, or whatever the new name is. You could add that, or you could add the green tea capsules. Just, think about that could be a possibility for you. If you serve these women, if you don't have women in your practice, then why are you listening to this podcast? Because if you only are men, then this isn't going to apply to you. Although, men could use a skin benefit as well. But us women, we tend to be a little bit more worried about it. If you want to know more about like creating a package, a program, putting something like that together, I do have a great podcast that has an amazing download a resource, and it's from Season 2, it's episode 9, and it's called Designing the Perfect Patient Program. And although membership is not a program, it's kind of similar. So it would follow sort of the same guidelines. So you can go listen to that podcast and get a little bit more info. But I think, there's a lot of opportunity here. It definitely is something that women are concerned about, but they don't know that you can help them. But the beauty industry is a multi-billion with a B dollar a year industry, and they're out doing crazy things that hurt them, damage the skin barrier. They're doing all these things to look beautiful. The end would be like a facelift. Well, that's what Tremella and Gotu Kola do. Basically tone, tighten, plump, firm, and lift. That's what they do. And you put the little nutrients with it, like the vitamin and mineral, give maybe a little bit of vitamin C, throw a couple of these things in. You could just put together a package or this little membership. And women will eat it up because they don't have anyone. They have to go out and find someone, pay them a bunch of money in order to get the look that they want and have that kind of reversal of the aging process. And here you are, and I am. We can do it naturally. We don't even have to pay. We don't even have to have them go pay for it. So it's a great way for you to get different kind of revenue in your business, but it's also a way that you can really serve these women and help them with a pain point that they don't know that they can talk to you about. You can also put them together in a bundle, like, it won't be long, at least at the time of this recording. It's going to be the holidays before long. And you could put together as a bundle. What a great Christmas gift. Like to give someone are these, it's like a skin beauty pack. You could put like a loofah in there. You could put one of those chill, I don't know what they think, put them in the freezer and they roll them on the face to just decrease puffiness. There's gua sha tools. You could put something like that together in your practice, and for all your women, they'll buy it as gifts for all their friends and their teacher at school and all the things. So there's a great way to market this, because if the skincare industry, the aesthetic industry is a multi-billion dollar industry, then you have the ability to do it much more naturally. And that's what patients want. The people that are coming to see you, they're not wanting to do that. They want to look for ways to keep their beauty, enhance the beauty, make the skin look as beautiful as it can for as long as it can. And before I go, one more thing I forgot to tell you is that one of the things that we see as women age, since we're talking about women, is prolapses. Well, did you know that prolapses often happen because of a loss of collagen? So what if you had a woman who had a prolapsed bladder, or she has a prolapsed cervix, prolapsed uterus? What if you started working on her collagen? What if you put her on a slant board? What if you got that collagen to be nice and healthy and strong? So those fibroblasts are really, really working hard, and you could actually start to tone and strengthen some of that connective tissue. I don't know. Could you reverse a prolapse? I don't know. Maybe you could. So there are so many benefits to this beyond the skin, because remember, collagen makes up 30% of the body proteins. It's in hair, it's in our eyes, it's skin. We have collagen all throughout the body. So don't think of this. I know I'm talking about it as just like a beauty protocol, for skin, for women of age, I will say, since I am one, but think about the benefits to the body in general. So I think collagen synthesis, production, and supporting that aspect of the patient's health, I think is really, really important, and one that we probably have overlooked for a little bit too long. So if you want help with your menopausal patients, I'm going to recommend that you jump into Clinical Academy, where I've got all kinds of lessons. As I mentioned, I've got a lesson on skin health. There's one on menopause. There's cardiovascular disease. You pretty much could name it, and it's in there. So if you're a clinician and you're looking for somewhere where you can go and find all the information that you need about protocols, about supplements, there's a long list of supplements where I just talk about like how to use them from different supplement companies. It's really a rich resource, and it kind of takes your head knowledge and puts it into a street-worthy perspective. Like, you're on the ground, you're in your clinic, you're helping people, but I got a hard case, now what do I do? That's what Clinical Academy is for. It just takes all of that knowledge and puts it in a really simple form so that you know what to do, how long to do it, when to switch products out, and you understand how things work as well. So go to rhondanelson.com/clinical academy. You will be blown away by what's in there. So I would love to see you inside there. In the meantime, go make your patients look beautiful. Your menopausal women will thank you forever. All right, friends, take care. Have a great week. I'll see you next week on the podcast.